Candidly, I can't see a WMT any other place in the township but in a proposed wind district. It would be foolish for them to do it. I think the key point you touched on initially, Ron, was the windmill height. That's going to be one key factor that we're going to have to discuss and eventually come up with an answer to that. You know, in past conversations, we talked about 400 feet. And that's what we got from a lot of feedback from a lot of people. But if we have a wind district, do you allow it to go a little bit higher, 450 feet? Even though the industry says they can't put a generator on top of these things at 400 feet or 450 feet?
I think that's something we have to further, discuss.
I think some of the comments that we got in the past from some of the people were pretty good. In other words, we make the regulations, don't let the wind industry make the regulations for us. And I'm not saying that prohibits the windmills within the proposed wind district, but I think we have to take necessary steps to protect the people. Again, I don't
think we should,
you know, and I'm not saying that there's a couple farmers, I think there's quite a few landowners that wouldn't mind a 500 footer in there, but I think that a 500 foot tower in some areas would be too tall.
Well, certainly that was something we heard a lot in the survey, people didn't know.
So let's talk 450.
But,
In wind districts.
right. Still in small ones now, are we okay with everything there?
What page you on? What page you on, Ron?
15?
Okay.
I think we did a pretty good job on.
Small business says that fees go up.
Correct. Now we're into the big ones.
Refresh my memory, when was the pilot agreement done on the other remote projects? Before they were given a permit?
I'm not positive, I'll tell you.
Whatever that question about page 18,
Yeah.
the pilot. Can we check with our attorney on that?
She walked in the door.
That would be a good question to get answered.
Yes.
we've got a sentence in there that says, no transmission line or cable shall be located within 150 feet of any residence or structure. I think we need to clarify that we're not talking cable for the computer, that we're talking about not descriptive enough,
I think they're referring to that all transmission lines and cables shall be located at a minimum depth of 4 feet underground and identified with appropriate markers. I think they're talking about the cables and the transmission lines that come from the tower down underground like that. I think that terminology, no transmission line or cable should be located within 150 feet of any residence, are those cables and lines that come down off that tower.
so can we stipulate
It says
that that's what
transmission
we're
lines.
talking about? Will it? What's a transmission line, will it just transmit it?
Power line.
I think that sentence in that point number 2 describes what we're talking about. Those transmission lines and cables are located on or part of that server.
Okay, so you don't think there is
I
any
think
clarification?
that's enough there.
Okay.
Because the next sentence says, no television, radio, or any other communication antenna may be affixed to any part of this ISWEF.
Okay, we skipped over
Yeah.
number 1.
Yeah, let's go back to that.
Yeah.
I'll stick my neck out and say I think 450 in the Linville district would be acceptable. Or if I else goes.
I like that.
What about outside the district?
Make it any different.
So realistic.
Fit anything.
Okay.
Mr. Dixon, it's very difficult to hear you. Would you please speak up?
All right. So 450 will be the maximum in or out of the windmill district, is that what we're
That's
at?
what we're saying, yeah. Okay with that, Jim?
Well, I'm just wondering if that should be broken down and really, you know, okay, if it's 400 here, but 450 here, or maybe some type of definition or a thought behind it, not just a generalization of that's District A has 450s.
We're saying everything at 450.
So, I mean,
Realistically,
now,
I don't think there'll be any windmills anywhere but the districts.
but 450, so.
There wouldn't be any windmills anywhere but in the district.
Correct.
So,
Probably not.
I mean, no matter what we put in the law, realistically, we could put 400 out of districts, but I don't think there's gonna be any out of the districts.
So I think it was 450.
I think it's a moot point. You know, we have a hill in town, it doesn't seem like there'd be enough setbacks. Because of too many houses. How do you feel?
Well, I know we're trying to find a compromise with the elevations of these windmills. And we talked about that 400 feet. We're talking about a wind district. And the industry's already said they're not going to go with 400 feet. They're not going to go with 450 feet. They want larger windmills. If you establish 450 feet, what are they going to do? I'm curious.
I think with the technology that they have today, I mean, if we can make smartphones and iPads, I'm sure that they can condense some of these units, you know. I know what they want different currents. I think we have to really just kind of be guided or, well, we have to look at the standards, where we can put them where we can, and we have to look at the public input that we've received. And someplace along the line, I think we're gonna have some type of solution that we can come to an agreement. I mean, granted, we could put probably a couple 500 out there, but I really, I don't know, I think we should discuss that a little bit further.
Well, we're making a compromise. I'm hoping that the windmill company will see that and
That's true.
and not be stuck on 400. You know, they want 5, other people want 4. Can we do this?
Well, the thing of it is, they come into the grandfather windmills, are they gonna, you know, how are they gonna repair them, and what are they gonna do with them, and so we gotta be careful with
Okay, we're basing our discussions on the premise that there's not gonna be any windmills townwide other than in the wind districts, correct?
that. Right.
So there'll be no windmills townwide unless you're in a wind district.
There could be in the future. Let's just say that they have technology, they could put up a 100-foot windmill. So we're not ruling it out as a possibility, but realistically, the way things are right now, there probably wouldn't be any others, but we have to leave it open
Future
to
guidelines.
future technology.
Beach direction.
That being said, that premise, if we're only gonna allow, right now, the wind districts to have windmills, then I would agree with that 450 foot under those guidelines. In other words, there's only gonna be the wind district there, the wind district there, or wherever else we determine we go with the wind district. But I don't wanna see any other heights of any windmills in excess of that, any other place in township, personally.
So you're saying here, you want this at 450, but no more, is that what you're saying?
No, only in the district.
No.
Only in the
450,
district.
and what about the rest
What
of
about
it?
the rest of it?
I don't think you're gonna see a windmill any other place in the township.
Well,
We can't
what?
say.
If they could put
Sure.
one there, what would we say? If they got
Daddy said they
later,
might come up with
whatever.
a 100-foot one that works great someday.
I'll believe that when I see it.
I know, but
So do you want to set 400 outside of the windmill district and 450 in the windmill district? Would that work?
What's wrong with that?
Okay.
We've talked about 400 foot maximum height for a windmill also in those areas. I think if you put that on paper, leave it on paper. Put on in the district 450 feet.
Okay.
That gives those people, the property owners within the windmill districts, leeway to have windmills on those pieces of property. In the other areas where there's a high amount of residential areas, it protects those people.
I think it makes sense.
So we could still allow windmills in this district, we're not gonna say,
No. Correct.
They would be allowed legally, but realistically, probably won't happen unless.
due to the regulations.
right, they have to meet everything else and it probably wouldn't happen.
So if you went with a 400-foot windmill any other place in the township other than a wind district, and you just said 7 times the height of that windmill is the setback, that'd be 2,800 feet. Correct? My math is correct?
Yeah.
According to what I see, there won't be any windmills any other place in the township,
Good.
which that's just a fact, with that kind of setback.
But this way, we've covered it.
Yes.
I think it's better this way. Some changes, so they can make it happen.
This law is the future too. So look at Tom Ward here, sitting here in 15 years and having to go by our guidelines.
Well,
They'll be changed by
not
now.
something, so.
Yeah. If we do a good job, maybe it'll be good for them.
Nah, they'll be changed.
Are we ready to go to page 22 now? Go to the others for there. change the hours of construction.
Are we back, can we go back on 21?
Yes.
Number 6, the last sentence says, no ISWF shall be located on a site such that it appears to rise from or hover over a public road. If we have a setback of 1.5 times a windmill, being that close to the road, isn't it gonna appear to?
Certain places, yeah.
I don't know, I think that's just kind of a vague sentence. Somebody could argue that over a ride.
Should we take that out and just go with a setback of some sort?
Yeah, we have a
That-
setback
that's-
already, but I think we
that's-
should just
that's
take that
Nothing
sentence
but
out.
a,
I mean, you drive around the windmills that are there already, and you come around a corner and,
Yeah.
so can we take that sentence out?
Sure.
Sure.
For the time being.
Sure.
Are we okay with 7 AM and 7 PM?
No. I think it's discriminatory. I don't think we can say to one company you can't work from certain hours and then allow another company to start at 5 AM. I think that'd be a legal fight right there.
How about for that step,
Okay.
if he says it's okay, you okay with it, Betty?
Well, I get up earlier than that, so just don't tell me I can't work before 7.
You don't make as much noise as they do.
That's a good point, though. Somebody could.
Yeah. I mean, if I was a window company and I saw classic concrete trucks going down the road at 6 and my trucks had to sit there, I wouldn't think that'd be right.
Yeah, you're gonna check it together. Or those hours would have to be set into another ordinance also. You know, it's out. We're only talking windows.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
No, I was, sorry. I was
You know what I'm
reading.
saying? If we did work on noise law, I mean, something like that would have to coincide. I mean, talking here strictly on windmill. So no windmill people can be in there at 8 o'clock in the morning. It's like you say, most companies